Senator Capito.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley. Thank you, Mr. Zuckerberg, for being here today. I want to ask just kind of a process question. You've said more than a few times that Facebook users can delete from their own account at any time. Well, we know in the course I do, I've got grandchildren now, but children, you tell your children, once you make that mark in cyber or in the internet system, it never really goes away. So my question to you is, if once and I think you answered that once an individual deletes the information from their page, it's gone forever from Facebook's archives. Is that correct?
Yes. And I think you raise a good point, though, which is that we will delete it from our systems, but if you've shared something to someone else, then we can't guarantee that they don't have it somewhere else.
Okay, so if somebody leaves Facebook and then rejoins and asks Facebook, can you recreate my past? Your answer would be?
If they delete their account, the answer is no. That's why we actually offer two options. We offer deactivation, which allows you to shut down or suspend your account but not delete the information, because actually a lot of people want to, at least for some period of time, I mean, we hear students with exams coming up want to not be on Facebook because they want to make sure that they can focus on the exam. So they deactivate their account temporarily, but then want the ability to turn it back on when they're ready. You can also delete your account, which is wiping everything. And if you do that, then you can't get it back.
You can't get it back. It's gone from your archives.
Yes.
But is it ever really gone?
From our systems, it is.
From the cloud or wherever it is. I mean, it always seems to be able to reappear in investigations and other things, not necessarily Facebook, but other emails and other things of that nature. What about the information going from the past, the information that's already been in the Cambridge Analytica case? You can't really go back and redo that. So I'm going to assume that what we've been talking with and the improvements that you're making now at Facebook are from this point forward. Is that a correct assumption?
Senator, I actually do think we can go back in some cases. And that's why one of the things that I announced is that we're going to be investigating every single app that had access to a large amount of information before we locked down the platform in 2014. And if we find any pattern of suspicious activity, then we're going to go do a full audit of their systems. And if we find that anyone's improperly using data, then we'll take action to make sure that they delete the data, and we'll inform everyone who may have had their data misused.
Okay, the other suggestion I would make, because we're kind of running out of time here, is you've heard more than a few complaints, and I joined the chorus of the lapse in the time of when you discovered and when you became transparent. And I understand you sent out 2 messages just today to users. So I would say you regret that decision, that you wish you'd been more transparent at the time. So I would imagine if in the course of your investigation you find more breaches, so to speak, that you will be re-informing your Facebook customers.
Yes, that is correct. We have already committed that if we find any improper use, we will inform everyone affected.
Okay, thank you. You've said also that you want to have an active view on controlling your ecosystem. Last week, the FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb addressed a drug summit in Atlanta and spoke on the national opioid epidemic. My state, I'm from West Virginia, and thank you for visiting. And next time you visit, if you would please bring some fiber, because we don't have connectivity in our rural areas like we really need, and Facebook could really help us with that. So Commissioner Gottlieb called upon social media and internet service providers, and he mentioned Facebook when he talked about it, to try to disrupt the sale of illegal drugs, and particularly powerful opioid fentanyl, which has been advertised and sold online. I know you have policies against this. The commissioner is announcing his intention to convene a meeting of chief executives and senior leaders, and I want to know, can I get a commitment from you today that Facebook will commit to having a representative with Commissioner Gottlieb to finalize with this meeting?
Senator, that sounds like an important initiative, and we will send someone.
Okay,
and let me also say that on your point about connectivity, we do have a group at Facebook that is working on trying to spread internet connectivity in rural areas, and we would be happy to follow up with you on that as well. That's something that I'm very passionate about.
That's good. That's good news. Last question I have, just on the advertising. If somebody advertises on Facebook and somebody purchases something, does Facebook get a percentage or any kind of a fee associated with a successful purchase from an advertiser?
Senator, no. The way that the system works is advertisers bid how much it's worth it to them to show an ad or when an action happens. So it's not that we would get a % of the sale, but let's just use an example. So let's say you're an app developer and your goal is you want to get more people to install your app. You could bid in the ad system and say, I will pay $3 anytime someone installs this app. And then we basically calculate on our side which ads are going to be relevant for people. And we have an incentive to show people ads that are going to be relevant because we only get paid when it delivers a business result. And that's how the system works.
So it could be you could be paid for the advertisement. I mean, for the sale.
We get paid when the action that the advertiser wants to happen happens.
All right, thank you.